Hey biology, so today we're going to go ahead and do another video over chapter 1.3. In this video we're just going to talk about the big ideas of biology. So let's go ahead in the next available page of our notebook, title this page, Big Ideas in Biology. So when we're in class this year, we're going to talk about obviously all of these different big ideas. So in the very center, we're just going to use a graphic organizer to kind of organize our thoughts and get this into a visual so that if you're using this for the test, it's an easy just look at or glance to help you out, or for studying, it's just easier to look at things in visuals. So let's go ahead and put biology in the center. So when we look at the term biology, what we want to look at or recognize is the prefix, the bio prefix. This is important. So in this class, a lot of things will use Latin or Greek prefixes or suffixes. And they'll help you, or they'll help describe a lot about what that term means and what it is. So the bio in biology stands for life. So bio means living. So everything that we discuss in biology will have to do with living things, okay? And so in some form or another. So that's going to be at our center because you're obviously taking this biology course that is going to focus on life. So the first thing that we will discuss in biology is going to be the cell bio. So we'll go ahead and have a branch and let's write cell bio. And before we can actually discuss the cell, we have to go into chemistry because we have to understand what the cell is made up of so that we can then understand the different processes the cell goes through. So let's go ahead and say biologists, the smallest thing that they study are atoms. So let's see if we draw an atom here. So we'll draw the protons in the center. We'll draw neutrons of different colors, and we have an atom. So again, the smallest thing a biologist will study, and so that we can understand what cells are made out of, what the other components of what maybe our food's made out of, so we can maintain homeostasis, is going to be atoms. So smallest thing biologists study. Atoms and molecules. And so we've got our electrons. Put 2 electrons to match the protons. All right, so the smallest things biologist studies are basically our molecules, atoms, so that we can understand what things are made up of. And that's actually what we'll study in our next chapter. So we'll do like a biochem. We'll talk about the different foods that you guys eat, and we'll actually do a food testing lab where you guys will have to solve a crime based on the crime scene evidence that you get, and so your knowledge of food testing. But in cell bio, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn about all the different cellular organelles. So we'll learn about a plant cell, which is going to be more boxy in nature because of a cell wall. So we'll learn about our plant cells, and we'll also learn about our animal cells. Put little organelles in there, boom, boom, boom. And then you'll also learn about bacteria or prokaryotic. So we have our eukaryotic cells and we have our prokaryotic cells. Okay, so we'll learn about the 3 different types of cells. And you know what? Let's go ahead and just write that in there so we remember. So we have our plant and animal cells. These are eukaryotic, and then we have our prokaryotic cell, which is like our bacteria. So we'll learn about the 2 different cells in biology, our eukaryotes and our prokaryotes. And then the smallest things that biologists study are going to be your molecules. After we get into the cell bio, we'll start talking about genetics. And so we'll go into genetics. And when you hear genetics, you should hear it and then also see that gene. So in genetics, we are going to specifically be talking about DNA. So this double helix molecule that's very important in every organism, every living organism, because it contains all of our genetic information. So what makes you, you? So we'll study DNA. We'll study how things are passed down from generation to generation and how they're passed down. And we'll study how allele frequencies are